How soon should you run 50 miles? How do you find local trail routes? How can you cure plantar fasciitis? And what are the best budget trail running shoes? Find out in my Q&A series, answering all your trail and ultra running questions.
This film is powered by the Festival. Choose from fully waymarked or navigation trail races in Cannock Chase this May.
Hi, I'm Claire and you're watching Wild Ginger Running, the trail and ultra running advice and inspiration channel. If you're new here, make sure you click the subscribe button, and any books or gear that I mention in my videos you'll find links to in the YouTube description below. Thanks to everybody who shares my films, old and new, on social media too, including this week One Man Ultra, Mick the Jogging Haggis, Paul Groovy Pebble and Ed Chapman, who have done this brilliantly. Thank you guys. And if you'd like to be entered into my monthly competitions to win £450 worth of running gear or enjoy other perks from Wild Ginger Running, like getting your questions answered preferentially or having a say in what I cover on the channel, head over to my Patreon page now. The link is in the description below. As usual, if you have a gear, training, nutrition or race question, type it in the comments below in time for next fortnight's Q&A. So let's answer that first question. Leanne Post wants to know how soon she should run 50 miles and how many races she should do per year. So Leanne is already an experienced trail runner and has done a trail marathon before. My own personal thoughts are that even so, it's a good idea to step up gradually to avoid injury. There's no rush to do these long distance races if you want to run for the rest of your life. If I was a sensible person, I would take about 6 months to build up from a trail marathon to a 50 miler by following the same plan as I outlined in my Ultra on 3 runs a week plan in the Q&A here. As for the number of races, I would aim to peak no more than 3 times a year, so pick 3 A races with a good gap between them and then race as often as you like in between just for training, but do remember not to overdo it. I also asked ultra running coach Paul Giblin for his thoughts. He came 22nd in the 106 mile UTMB, so he knows all about endurance and keeping yourself fit for running in the long term. Paul says, "Hi Leanne, you sound like you have a good race plan in place already. These are distances that you haven't run before, so I'm not sure you have to rush to claim your first 80k. In an ideal world, you would build to the longer race towards the end of the year rather than having it right in the middle. That's not to say that you can't do it, but you should think about how important just ticking off a race distance is versus being able to train and compete in longer races for many years to come. Often it's not about achieving a certain level of fitness that's the limiter, but your body being able to handle the impact of consistent high volume training. That can take a few years and patience is the key. If you do decide to run the 80k in July, then go into it with a realistic goal of finishing the race well rather than forcing a time or a position. Thanks Paul, take a look at his coaching website in the description below and I hope that helps you make your decisions, Leanne. Question 2, Bibsy Boo wants to know, how do you find local trail routes? He lives in the Brecon Beacons, but he doesn't have a clue where to start as he doesn't know how to read a map. So I would definitely recommend learning how to read a map to gain safe access to exciting new routes in your local area, wherever it is. It's easier than you think and it's definitely a brilliant investment to go on a beginner's navigation course. See my top 10 suggestions all over the UK in this film here. So this will open up a whole new world of trail running routes both locally and anywhere you decide to travel to. Here are the basics though before you get going on a course. You can get an OS map or download their app on your phone. For free maps, you can also use Street Map or Bing Maps set to the Ordnance Survey option of 1 to 25,000 or 1 to 50,000 scale. So first of all, familiarise yourself with an Ordnance Survey map key or legend by Googling it. I've put links to all these in the descriptions below, by the way. Then look for the green, pink or black dotted lines that represent paths. Each blue grid square is 1 kilometre across, so this will give you an idea of how far you should make your route along these paths. If your path crosses slim brown lines, then it will be going up or down a hill, as these are contour lines and they represent the height of the land. Every 50 metres or so, they will have a number showing you the height above sea level. Trying to keep this explanation short makes me think that I should make a more in-depth film covering this topic too. Watch this one here about finding local trails that I did with the first, and keep watching Wild Ginger Running for a more in-depth tutorial on how to plan a trail route. It is on my ever-growing to-do list. But I can't recommend going on a navigation course highly enough, Bibsy Boo. You could try Hawk Adventures for map reading skills in your area. Question 3. Lee Spencerley asks for advice on managing or getting rid of plantar fasciitis, as he's heard that I've had it. This is such a tricky injury, Lee. It's such a difficult one to shake. And like you, I've also tried numerous things, and the only thing that has really helped is saying no to all long distance races for 2019 and massively reducing my running training volume from 30 to 50 miles a week to more like 20 to 25. So now I only do 3 shorter runs per week, 1 tempo 6 miler, 1 4 to 5 mile hill session, and 1 long run no longer than 14 miles at the moment. Back-to-back running days kick it off again, so I substitute my 4th and 5th runs with a 3-hour bike ride and a 30 to 60 minute high intensity strength workout. With this amount of training, I am managing my plantar fasciitis pretty well at the moment. I've had a lot of physio on my left foot, and I've tried different shoes with different drop, and I've done all the exercises in Paul Hobrough's book, Running Free of Injuries, but I do struggle with doing them daily. So maybe all of us plantar fasciitis sufferers should make a pact to do them daily. After boosting my mileage in early 2018, training for the Cape Wrath Ultra, it came back in April, just before the race. So I visited Paul in Corbridge on my way up to the start in Fort William. He gave me an hour's treatment, including acupuncture to promote rapid healing in the area and electric shock therapy, which felt very weird. You can watch it here, but unfortunately it was a live broadcast and the sound is not great, but do persevere as it does contain a lot of useful information on plantar fasciitis. You are supposed to have a 6-week course of this treatment, but I didn't have time. But amazingly, I didn't suffer from plantar fasciitis for the whole 4 days of running the Cape Wrath Ultra. It came back the day that I stopped running and got back into my sandals, which was really strange. So basically, Lee, I would recommend dropping your mileage, cross-training, getting Paul's book, the link is in the description below, and doing everything it says in there. And if that still doesn't work, then you might also need some electric shock treatment and maybe even another cortisone injection. But I've never had one of those, so you definitely need to have a professional advise you on that. So my biggest tip is that once you feel like you're managing your plantar fasciitis, only gradually increase things. And the moment that you feel it coming back, rest. I hope this info helps you, Lee, and keep us posted in the YouTube's comments below about how you're getting on. Quickfire questions. Ross Woodward wants to know if I will be reviewing budget trail running shoes anytime soon. Well, Ross, I actually found myself in Decathlon last week and I had a look at their super low cost trail running shoes, and do you know, they actually look more than adequate. I especially like the look of the men's and women's Kalenji Kip Run Trail XTs, a real bargain at £45, and I've just actually emailed Decathlon to see if they'll send me over a pair and some other budget kit to review, as I know you guys like that on this channel, so keep watching Wild Ginger Running for more. Andy Highsmith wants to know if I'm doing a film about my Cape Wrath Ultra experience. Yes, I know I keep harping on about this epic race in all my films, and I did take a great deal of video footage, so I'll let you know as soon as that's ready. So stay tuned. I also gave a talk about it at the National Running Show this weekend, so maybe I should reenact that in a live broadcast sometime soon. So let me know if you're keen for that in the comments below too. Dom Brassard has a message for everyone about sunscreen. I'm sorry to say he's been diagnosed with early stage skin cancer on his face, so he wants to raise awareness for other runners. This is very good of you, Dom, and as a ginger runner myself with a very fair and burnable complexion, I'd like to share with you the sunscreen that I use. Maybe I should ask them to sponsor this channel because I do swear by it, and I'd have absolutely no problems recommending it. It's called P20 and I use their factor 20, 30 and 50. It's a spray-on, clear, oil-type substance rather than a cream, and you just apply it in the morning and let it soak in for a couple of minutes before you put any clothes on, because otherwise it makes the hems go yellow. It's waterproof, sweat-proof, and you don't need to reapply like normal sunscreen, which is brilliant. I used it on the Coastal Challenge in Costa Rica and I didn't get burnt once. I hope that helps everyone, and best of luck with your chemo treatment, Dom. News! Wow, I hope everyone was following my social media last Wednesday, as fell runner Jasmine Paris not only won the spine race outright, but totally smashed up the overall course record. It was absolutely thrilling to watch her tracker from afar. This phenomenal small animal vet from Edinburgh, who is still breastfeeding by the way, beat everyone else along this non-stop 268-mile course along the Pennine Way in winter, including 2 previous winners, Spaniard Eugenie Rossello Sole and Irishman Ian Keith. Jasmine is no stranger to records. She holds the women's Bob Graham and Paddy Buckley round records and the overall Ramsey round record. She came 6th overall in the UTMB and won the Skyrunner World Series Extreme category in 2016, and she won the Ladies Dragon's Back race in 2015, coming 2nd overall. So congratulations, Jasmine, for once again being a total badass. It's question time. Last time I asked you what is your favourite trail running gadget, so Thunderflash was the first to reply, saying his Garmin Fenix 5X was his favourite running gadget. He says that with the mapping for emergencies, it has got him out of a tight spot a few times, especially with the track back to the start feature. So this fortnight's question is from patron Tim Croft. Tim is looking for new trail running routes, so what is your favourite trail run at the moment? I'll start things off. Usually my favourite is the last one I did, so at the moment I'm really loving running over the Roaches and exploring Lud's Church in the White Peak, which you can see in the Wild Ginger Running Facebook page header video just now. Post your favourite trail run in the comments below and I'll read the best one out in next fortnight's Q&A. Keep those trail and ultra running questions coming and I'll answer as many as I can in next fortnight's Q&A. And if you want me to prioritise your question or be in with a chance to win £450 worth of trail and ultra running kit, simply sign up to support me on Patreon. The link is in the description below. Subscribe if you haven't already and click the notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new videos from Wild Ginger Running. Thanks for watching, thanks to all my awesome patrons. Have fun, enjoy your run, and I'll see you on the trails.